Hello, hello again. Okay, so we're going to start our language, but what I want to do first is to go back to page 161 because I was able to check over many of those and see. So some of us did okay, but there's just a few things that I wanted to kind of talk through from those that missed them. If you got that back and you see that there's a circle by numbers, especially for think A, that means that you need to correct things in there. So please go back and check. This is going to be so helpful for the test tomorrow because all of those little things that we forget in the sentences are points off, like I said. So I really want you to be a good detective and look through and see what you need to catch for each of those. So we're going to review some of that on the board as well today, but I wanted to talk through at number one, I'm going to do with you. So those of you that missed number one, here's your answers. But 2 through 5, I want you to go back and check those if there's circles by them. If you don't have a circle, that means you did fine. Or sometimes I kind of like you had one thing missing or not quite correct and I fixed it for you and showed it to you. But I just want to talk through number one and our steps. So the first thing you were supposed to do is draw your dividing line between the subject and predicate. So the full moon shone brightly on the quiet lake. Well, what is our thing, our action that we can do? We can shine, okay? The moon, what did it do? It shone, okay? Shone is our verb, and then that means that moon would be our subject, okay? Then the second step was to draw underline each verb twice, underline each subject once. So we just already figured out that shown is our verb. So underline that twice. Some of you only did once. You have to do it twice or else it's going to look like it's your subject again. Underline moon once. Okay. Shown twice, moon once. Step number 3. Draw a box around each noun. Some of you drew a box around one noun in the sentence, but not every noun in the sentence. Every single noun in that sentence needs to be boxed. Then 4, circle each adjective and draw a small arrow from the adjective to the noun it describes. So some of you had full moon as a box. No. What is full? It's an adjective describing what kind of moon. Could have been a half moon. It could have been a quarter moon. It could have been a new moon, okay? But full moon. So full is describing what kind of moon. Circle full, draw an arrow to moon. And then what word, 3rd grade? We keep forgetting these cute little words, these tiny little words. Don't forget them. The should be circled and an arrow drawn to moon. Then at the end, you should have had lake that is boxed because that is a noun. What kind of lake? Quiet. So draw a circle around quiet, draw an arrow to lake, and don't forget the should be circled, draw an arrow to lake. Then step number 5, circle each adverb and draw a small arrow from the adverb to the verb it describes. So brightly is the adverb, and it's describing how the moon shone. Shone how? Brightly. Okay, so those were all the things that should have been for sentence number 1. So some of you only have like a few things circled or underlined or whatever for sentences 2 through 5. Go back and be a good detective and recheck those, okay? Then for think B, we did pretty well. We had good adjectives, but then when it came to skip and talk, we weren't quite using adverbs. We were more using adjectives for those. We have to be careful. We don't say skip quiet, okay? We would say skipped quietly or skipped quickly, skipped loudly, okay? Skipped fast, okay? But you have to use good adverbs. Same thing with talk. I can't remember if you were like somebody put loud. We don't say she talked loud. She talks loudly, okay? How did she talk? She talked very loudly, okay? Think of our song. That's why we sing those songs to help you to remember. And then write C. This is where some of us had a problem as well. You had to write an adjective and an adverb to complete the sentence. So many of you figured out my, what kind of pet, but some of you like had my dog pet. Dog isn't really describing what kind of pet. My sweet pet, my big pet, my cute pet, my tiny pet, something like that, okay? But then where the adverb was where we struggled. My whatever kind of pet eats blank every morning, and some of you put eats food every morning or eats marshmallows every morning. That's not an adverb. Remember, an adverb is describing the verb. Eats how every morning. So think of a word that tells how they're eating. Okay, some of you had some good ones, but how is your pet eating? And so I don't want to say, because I want you to think it through and redo that for me, but how does your pet eat? Okay, so think about those. Okay, so I just wanted to go over that really quickly. I know that wasn't super quick, but I might end up doing 2 videos today just because I wanted to make sure you've got that down. Actually, I think that might be how we're going to do that, because then the next video I want to take doing all of our review for today's lesson and getting prepared for tomorrow and all of that. So I think this will be the end for this video, but go back to page 161, look at those carefully, fix what is missed, and then send that back to me, please, so I can check it over, and hopefully we'll kind of get a better handle on some of those. But I know you can do it, so this will help you for tomorrow for the test to really be settled and sure about that. All right, I'll be right back.